In the world of hip-hop, rivalries have always shaped the culture. From Biggie and Tupac to Jay-Z and Nas, beef has fueled some of the most iconic moments in rap history. And now we're witnessing another one unfold before our eyes. A lyrical war between two of the biggest artists of our time, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. This isn't just any rap beef, it's a battle of ideologies, reputations, and artistic legacies. It's a fight for dominance between a lyrical purist and a global superstar. But how did it all start? And why has it reached a boiling point in 2025? To understand the origins of this feud, we need to go back over a decade, back to when both artists were rising stars in the industry. Kendrick Lamar, a Compton-born lyricist, was already making waves in the underground scene. His razor-sharp wordplay and storytelling ability set him apart as a once-in-a-generation talent. Meanwhile, in Toronto, Drake had already skyrocketed to fame with his blend of introspective lyrics and mainstream appeal. Drake had something no other rapper did: the ability to dominate both rap and R&B, making him one of the most commercially successful artists of all time. But as both Kendrick and Drake grew into megastars, their paths would inevitably cross. In 2013, Kendrick shook the hip-hop world with his explosive verse on Big Sean's Control. He called out nearly every big name in rap, including Drake, challenging them to step up lyrically. This moment planted the seed of competition, but at the time, Drake played it cool. Drake brushed it off, calling it a moment in hip-hop. But as time went on, subtle jabs between the two started appearing in their music. The tension built slowly, hidden beneath the surface of their collaborations and mutual respect. Fast forward to today, and that tension has exploded into a full-blown rap war. Diss tracks, accusations, and high-profile performances have made this one of the most talked-about feuds in modern hip-hop. And now, with Kendrick's explosive Super Bowl performance, the battle has taken center stage. He performed Not Like Us, a track widely believed to target Drake, and the world is watching to see what happens next. But to truly grasp the depth of this rivalry, we have to go deeper. In the early 2010s, Kendrick Lamar and Drake were two of the most exciting names in hip-hop. Both were on the rise, both had undeniable talent, and for a while it seemed like they were allies rather than rivals. They collaborated, praised each other in interviews, and gave fans hope for a strong creative partnership. But beneath the surface, tensions were quietly brewing. Their relationship started on a high note. In 2011, Drake featured Kendrick on Buried Alive Interlude, a track from his album Take Care. Unlike most interludes, this one stood out. Kendrick delivered a raw, introspective verse, reflecting on the temptations of fame and success. It was a major cosign from Drake, introducing Kendrick to a wider audience. At the time, it seemed like Drake was positioning himself as a mentor figure, extending a hand to the young Compton rapper. The following year, Kendrick returned the favor. In 2012, he featured Drake on Poetic Justice, one of the standout tracks from his classic album Good Kid, M.A. City. The song, smooth and radio-friendly, showed their chemistry, and everything looked solid between the two. But hip-hop is competitive, and even friendships can turn into rivalries when two artists are fighting for the top spot. By 2013, the tension became more visible. Kendrick was no longer the hungry up-and-comer. He was now a force in hip-hop, earning respect from both fans and legends in the game. That same year, Drake dropped Nothing Was the Same, an album that cemented his dominance as both a rapper and hitmaker. But while both were thriving, Kendrick made a move that changed everything. In August 2013, Kendrick shook the rap world with his verse on Big Sean's Control. He called out nearly every major rapper, including J. Cole, Meek Mill, A$AP Rocky, and of course, Drake. While it wasn't a diss track, Kendrick made his intentions clear. He saw himself as the best, and he was coming for the throne. Drake, known for his smooth and calculated approach, played it cool in public. In an interview, he dismissed the verse, saying it was just a moment in hip-hop. But behind the scenes, the energy between the two had shifted. The rap world immediately took sides. Some saw Kendrick as the fearless lyricist bringing competition back to the game. Others saw Drake as the king who didn't need to respond. But one thing was clear: Kendrick's Control verse planted a seed of rivalry that would grow into one of hip-hop's biggest feuds. From that point on, their interactions became less friendly and more strategic. Subtle shots in interviews, veiled lyrics, and a growing sense of competition set the stage for what was to come. As the years went on, the tension between Kendrick Lamar and Drake didn't just linger, it escalated. What started as a friendly rivalry in the early 2010s slowly turned into one of hip-hop's most talked-about feuds, fueled by subliminal shots, industry politics, and the battle for dominance. In the wake of Kendrick's explosive Control verse in 2013, Drake tried to downplay it publicly, but his actions said otherwise. Over the next few years, the two took subtle jabs at each other through their music. Drake, the master of subliminal disses, released The Language on Nothing Was the Same, which many believed was aimed at Kendrick. The track included lines about rappers talking about being the king but not living up to the title, an obvious response to Kendrick's claim of being the best. In return, Kendrick didn't back down. On his Bet Hip Hop Awards cypher in 2013, he fired back at Drake without naming him, rapping about fake friendships and rappers who play the industry game rather than standing on real talent. The shots were clear, and fans started to realize this wasn't just hype. Over the next few years, the tension continued to simmer beneath the surface. Whenever they collaborated or performed together, there was an undeniable sense of competition. In 2015, Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, an album that critics hailed as a masterpiece. While it was politically charged and deeply introspective, many speculated that the track King Kunta contained shots at Drake with lines about ghostwriters and artists who weren't truly writing their own music. Drake, on the other hand, was on a historic run. His If You're Reading This, It's Too Late mixtape and What a Time to Be Alive with Future cemented his dominance. But in 2016, his feud with Meek Mill over ghostwriting allegations took center stage, briefly shifting attention away from Kendrick. Still, that same year, Kendrick made a bold move. He took part in DJ Khaled's song Holy Key, where he rapped about being uncoachable and on a different level than his peers, a line that many believed was aimed at Drake. But the biggest moment came in 2017 when Kendrick released Damn. On the Heart Part 4, he sent what seemed like his clearest warning yet to Drake, rapping, "My fans can't wait for me to sun your punk ass and crush your whole little shit." The line felt personal, and with Drake gearing up to release More Life, many expected the beef to go public. But once again, Drake took a different approach. He avoided direct confrontation, choosing instead to dominate the charts and expand his global appeal. For a while, things seemed to cool down. Both artists focused on their own success, with Kendrick winning a Pulitzer Prize for Damn, and Drake breaking streaming records left and right. But the rivalry never truly died. It was just waiting for the right moment to explode. And that moment finally came in 2024, when Kendrick released Not Like Us, a diss track that reignited everything. The song didn't just take aim at Drake, it went straight for his credibility, his reputation, and his personal life. The track went viral, sparking debates and forcing Drake to respond. By the time Kendrick took the stage at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show, the world was watching. Would he perform Not Like Us? Would he escalate the feud even further? The stage was set for one of the most defining moments in hip-hop history. As the feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake reached a boiling point, the release of Not Like Us in 2024 changed everything. Unlike the subliminal jabs of the past, this was a full-fledged diss track, and it wasn't just about music, it was about credibility, authenticity, and legacy. The song quickly became a cultural moment. Kendrick pulled no punches, taking direct aim at Drake's reputation, questioning his authenticity, and even referencing controversial rumors that had long surrounded the Canadian rapper. Fans and critics dissected every lyric, and within hours, Not Like Us was trending worldwide. The song's hard-hitting production and aggressive delivery made it an instant anthem, drawing comparisons to classic rap beefs of the past. Drake, known for his strategic approach to feuds, initially remained silent, but silence wasn't an option this time. The diss was too big to ignore. The internet was demanding a response, and speculation ran wild. Would Drake fire back with another back-to-back style diss, or would he take a different approach? Days later, Drake finally responded with Family Matters, a track where he attempted to counter Kendrick's claims. However, the response didn't land the way Drake had hoped. While his loyal fans supported him, much of the hip-hop community felt that the track lacked the impact needed to shift the momentum. Kendrick had set the tone and Drake was playing defense. And then came the biggest stage of all, the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar, fresh off the success of Not Like Us, was set to headline, marking a historic moment as the first solo hip-hop artist to do so. Fans were eager to see if he would address the beef live in front of millions. From the moment Kendrick took the stage at the Caesars Superdome, it was clear that this performance was going to be more than just entertainment. It was a statement. The show opened with a surprise appearance by Samuel L. Jackson, dressed as Uncle Sam, setting the tone for a politically and culturally charged spectacle. Kendrick emerged from a vintage Buick GNX, a symbol of classic West Coast hip-hop, and wasted no time launching into a high-energy set. He performed a mix of new and old hits, blending his biggest anthems with socially conscious messages. But the real moment of the night came when he performed Not Like Us. Fans had speculated whether he would include the controversial track in his Super Bowl set, and Kendrick didn't disappoint. As the opening beat dropped, the crowd erupted. However, Kendrick made a noticeable edit. He removed the word pedophiles from the lyrics, a decision likely made to avoid legal repercussions and network censorship. Adding to the moment, Serena Williams made a surprise appearance, performing the Crip Walk on stage during the song, further amplifying the West Coast energy. The performance was electrifying, and by the time Kendrick left the stage, social media was on fire. In the aftermath of the Super Bowl, the hip-hop world was divided. Some declared Kendrick the clear winner of the feud, praising his artistry, lyricism, and fearless approach. Others believed that Drake still had a chance to reclaim his dominance, arguing that his influence and commercial power remained unmatched. But one thing was undeniable. Kendrick Lamar had shifted the culture. He had taken a years-long rivalry and turned it into a defining moment in hip-hop history. The Kendrick Lamar and Drake feud has been one of the most compelling rivalries in modern hip-hop, one that has spanned over a decade, evolving from subtle competition to an all-out lyrical war. What started as a battle for respect and dominance in the rap game turned into a cultural moment that transcended music, drawing in fans, celebrities, and even mainstream media. Kendrick's performance at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show felt like the closing act of this long-running conflict. With Not Like Us cemented as an anthem, his dominance over the feud was undeniable. He had done what few rappers could: stand toe-to-toe with one of the most commercially successful artists of all time and shift the narrative in his favor. Drake, despite his massive success, found himself on the defensive in a way he had never experienced before. Yet the impact of this battle goes beyond just Kendrick and Drake. It reignited conversations about authenticity in hip-hop, the importance of lyricism, and the responsibility that comes with being a leader in the genre. It reminded fans why rap battles have always been a cornerstone of the culture, not just for entertainment, but as a way for artists to prove their skill and assert their place in history. For Kendrick, this feud reinforced his reputation as an uncompromising artist, one who prioritizes truth and artistic integrity over industry politics. For Drake, it was a rare moment of vulnerability, a reminder that even the biggest artists can be challenged, and that cultural respect isn't just about chart dominance, it's about credibility. But is this truly the end of the Kendrick versus Drake saga? In hip-hop, history has shown that feuds can reignite when least expected. Whether Drake chooses to fire back with another track or lets time heal the wounds, one thing is certain: this rivalry has already secured its place in hip-hop history. Fans will debate, analyze, and relive every moment for years to come. No matter where you stand, one thing is clear: this battle wasn't just about music, it was about legacy, and Kendrick Lamar may have just written one of the defining chapters of his.